Hey guys, Asher coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends with another champion guide. Today we have Tomb Lord. A few shoutouts to you guys. VF says, hey Ash, got a Tomb Lord from a 2x event. Never heard of this champion, but he looks decent. Wondering if you could do a video on him. Well, he's better than decent. As a matter of fact, this guy got a buff about a year ago, and I'm not against the buff, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Tomb Lord. I think he's an amazing, incredibly underrated champion. However, I also feel like, golly, there's like hundreds of more deserving champions out there than Tomb Lord. Nonetheless, yeah, he got a pretty significant buff as well. Unworn Wolf looking for a Knock the Paralyzer and Tomb Lord guide. I think I already did Knocked. We have a Sissia and a Tomb Lord request. We have a Tomb Lord as well from Rajan. Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Tomb Lord. Alright guys, so as we mentioned, Tomb Lord is a Knights Revenant legendary support spirit affinity champion. He fits the culty dark aesthetic pretty well here. He's covered in head to toe with armor. He's got the creepy face on the front. On his A1 ability, Crippling Blows, a triple hitter, we have a placing a decreased speed debuff on the target for 2 turns, big version if the attack is critical. That's a great move, right? We're just like, it's not a 50% chance, a 20% chance. It's a straight up 100% chance, provided you have the accuracy and don't land a weak hit, of landing the big version of decreased speed on a triple hitter. On the A2, Death Burst attacks one enemy, has a 100% chance when booked out of placing a, that is, yes, correct, of placing 2 poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. If the hit is critical, has a 100% chance of placing 4 poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. Wow, that's a lot of poisons. 4 on all enemies, provided the attack is critical. On Blight, his A3 ability, decrease turn meter of all enemies with less than 50% by 100%. A great move. Has a 100% chance of placing a decreased attack, debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also places the big version of decreased defense on all enemies for 2 turns. And then grants an extra turn if any enemy's turn meter is decreased by this skill. So all you need to do is have one enemy's turn meter decreased, and he gets an extra turn as well, which really helps as well because it's a 4-turn cooldown. Man, it's a really, really strong kid. He's got potentially 4 poisons, decreased speed, a triple hitter, decreased attack, decreased defense, and turn meter manipulation all in one. He also brings accuracy in Doom Tower battles by 70. So let's see what they rank him here on Hell Hades. They give him a 4 overall rating. I don't know, maybe I'm biased on this one. I would go a little bit higher. I think I might go 4.5. And I mean, the proof is in the proverbial pudding here, guys. Look at these ratings. I mean, how can you give him a 4 when he's over a 4 in almost every category? I kid a little bit, a little hyperbolic there, but Dark Fae, he's amazing. Eternal Dragon, he's amazing. Frostbiter, Scarab King, Celestial Griffin, Doom Tower Hydra, Iron Twins with a decreased speed of 4.5, Ice Golem of 5, Dragon Heart of 4.5, Fire Knight Heart of 5, Fire Knight Normal of 4.5, Spider of 4.5. I mean, these are some insanely good and versatile rankings for this guy, obviously being used pretty much everywhere in the game. I'm not as big a fan of him in Hydra personally. That's the one area where I might knock him down to like a 3. Because, you know, poison isn't really the meta. It doesn't get you as far as it does in other areas in Hydra. And beyond that, he does have the decreased defense and decreased attack, but again, it is on that 4 turn. He's just so much better in so many other areas of the game. In terms of his multipliers, he has a 1.1 attack multiplier on the A1, and he has a 5 multiplier on the A2. Keep in mind, though, he's only actually attacking one enemy, even though he is putting the poisons on everybody, again, provided the attack is critical. He's either placing 2 or 4. Okay, let me go ahead and show you how I have him built, guys. I'm probably using the most popular kind of endgame build for Tomb Lord right now. It's regeneration in Immortal, right? This allows him to solo content, but Ironically, I'm not soloing as much content with Tomb Lord anymore. He can solo Ice Golem. I don't know how, I haven't tried soloing Ice Golem hard with him. I'm not sure how far he could go, if anywhere. He's not a burner after all. But Ice Golem normal, he can solo Ice Golem, right? He can solo in, you know, all the soloable areas. Does that make sense? Dragon he can solo. He can solo Minotaur's Labyrinth as well. In Immortal and Regeneration. He can keep himself alive and just DPS them down and debuff them with his poisons, right? And great to have the decreased speed against bosses as well. So even though I'm not soloing content with him anymore, I'm still running the regeneration in Immortal. It just makes him like an uber tank, self-sustaining. It's very helpful for Fire Knight hard, where he's really a hard carry on my team. However, with all that said, you can absolutely just run him in, you know, just normal perception gear. He does require accuracy, obviously, for all those poisons and his A3 ability and his decreased speed. Looking at my build right now, I could probably stand to gain a little bit more accuracy on this build, especially for the hard level dungeons. So let's see if we can maybe make an adjustment there. All the easy areas where we could pick up accuracy are taken right now. We already have a double roll there. We have a little bit of accuracy here. We can definitely glyph this up to get a little bit extra speed there. I mean, a trip speed is very good on... We need them fast for Fire Knight. I'm going to show you my Fire Knight team as well. My main Fire Knight hard 10 team, starring Tomb Lord, right? Anyway, his total stats here are going to be 265 on the speed, 103. It's pretty imperative that we get him to 100% crit rate or very close to. We really want to land the 4 poisons and the decreased speed. He also fits beautifully in a poison combust team. I'm going to show you that in today's video as well. So we have 315 accuracy. I really like that north of 350 for where we're going to be using him. So I think it might behoove us to actually sacrifice some damage. Here's a general build in terms of masteries, guys. Going down and picking up Giant Slayer instead of War Master. However, I'm actually going to make the sacrifice. I'm going to pay for it too. Just given the stats that we have on him right now, and because I don't want to totally rebuild him either, I'm actually going to go in there and go with sacrifice the Giant Slayer, which I think is the way to go for this dude. And I'm going to go with the Eagle Eye for that extra 50 accuracy instead. I am still going to need, I think, that crit rate. Let me see. I'm 2 points short. What would you guys do? I still think I'm going to go with the crit rate. I want him to crit every time. Really specifically want to land that decreased speed. So we're going to go in here. We're going to pick up Life Drinker in case we need it. Ice Golem 10, Ice Golem hard for that matter. I think it's the most challenging dungeon, and I really don't even think it's close. Arcane Celerity is very good on this guy because he has so many debuffs with the decreased speed, the decreased attack, the decreased defense, and the 4 frickin' poisons. It's almost a must-have, in my opinion, especially if you're going support tree. All we have for Lore of Steel is a 1 immortal set, so I'd rather pick up Cycle of Magic. And I think I'm going to go with... I don't need Sniper on this guy. I don't really need Spirit Haste either. I don't need Lasting Gifts. I don't really want Kill Streak. I think I'll go with Spirit Haste, I guess. Hopefully we're never in a position that we need Spirit Haste. I don't know how you guys feel about that mastery, but it's just like, do I really need that? So anyway, here's our revised masteries, guys. At least this gets us the accuracy that we need. It really puts us in a better situation here at 365. Anyway, we do have, in terms of the gear, HP percentage on the gauntlets, resistance on the chest only because I was looking for the speed there. I mean, the resistance at almost 400 or 370 or whatever is nice to have, but it's not a must-have on this dude. I would rather have HP percentage. I just don't have any HP percentage immortal gear that has good speed on it right now on my entire account, which is kind of a bummer. So we went resist anyway. He's going to be fine. We want him as tanky as possible, though, so it's definitely not ideal. But we do have HP on the banner instead of accuracy. We did get a nice accuracy ascension roll. We have crit damage on the amulet. Hey, if he's going to be at 100% crit rate, we might as well get some crit damage as well. And then we have some nice survivability out of this ring. All right, guys, let's go ahead. His damage does scale off of attack, but again, most of his damage, the vast majority of it is going to be coming from those poisons, not from his actual attacks. but he does need the crit rate to land the poisons. Anyway, guys, let me start with showing you, well, heck, let's just start with the, no. I already spent gems to redo my masteries. I'm done, man. Let's start with Fire Knight Hard 10. This is my Fire Knight Hard 10 team. It's not the fastest team in the world, but it's an effective squad. Here we go. We have Cold Heart, we have Cardial, we have Valkyrie, we have Tomb Lord, and we have Foley. I really love this team. I've been using it since Fire Knight 10, or since Fire Knight Hard Dungeon came out, really. It's the first team that I built. And the reason I say it's not the best team is, the good news is it's 100% success rate. The bad news is it's slow. So with that being said, he's going to be our main DPS actually to get through these 2 waves here. There's versions of this team with a Theodore the Savant, but I can't get it to be 100% win rate with Theodore on my team because of the only 1 hit on his A1. Now, Blessings, we don't have Blessings on him. I would definitely run, actually, we do. I have Phantom Touch on him, I want to say. Phantom Touch is going to be the way to go. You get 4 hit credit, right? 4 hit credit. We have Temporal Chains and Brimstone being offered up and suggested from hellhades.com. But man, for Fire Knight, which he's so good in, I think that Phantom Touch is the way to go. That way you get that extra hit, and every hit counts, especially when there's, geez, I don't know, what is there, 24 or something, 25 hits on this shield that we need. That's why we have an ally attacker on the team as well. So he does help us get through these waves, but it's going to take us a couple minutes to do so. Again, all those poisons really do nice work, though. I'll come back at you in just a moment when we get to Fire Knight. All right, guys, here we go at the Fire Knight. So, chipping away at the shield already, you can see how effective this team is. And then once he gets a hit in, we'll have the counterattack as well and the shield to keep Cold Heart alive. All of these champions, in case you're curious here, are built with a decent amount of survivability, even more so than damage. For example, on Cold Heart, we have HP and or defense everywhere on her, right? Same thing on everybody else on the team for the most part. So what you saw from Tomb Lord, he's basically the same stat-wise in terms of his survivability as everybody else on the squad. So what we want to do now is Valkyrie's going to come in here with her A2 ability. She's going to refresh this this shield, and then she's going to keep everybody alive. Now, you'll see we land, even with the shield, you know, not always being down, mostly being up, we're still landing that decreased speed, which is probably the most important debuff along with a heal reduction for the Fire Knight, right? So he's coming in there. The decreased speed helps tremendously because we need our Valkyrie to get back around to that A2 ability. For that reason, Valkyrie is also in a reflex set on this team, okay? All right, what? I got a little fella over here. What, Bubba? What? What? You doing something in Minecraft you want to show me? Okay, well, Dad is recording right now. Do you want to say hi real quick? I can help you in 1 minute. We're talking about Tomb Lord over here. Here, you can say hi. Hi. This guy right over here this guy right here on the left, his name is Tomb Lord, and that's what people are watching Dad to hear about right now. Do you think he's cool? This guy right here? Yeah? He's going in. He's attacking. You're going to have to wait 1 minute, though, Bubba. All right, guys, sorry about that. We are almost done. Like I said, it's not the fastest run ever, but, you know, it's a run. It's a run. But you can see that I'm showing the entire thing just to show you, like, kind of how it all works in terms of, even though we have the revive on death, no one's ever dying. If someone's dying, it's going to be a big problem, even with the revive on death. So Cardial's really there for the ally attack, mostly on this team. Granted, the block debuffs and everything like that helps as well, not to mention the damage increases. But it's actually our buddy Tomb Lord who is doing the heavy lifting in terms of DPS really everywhere on this one. You know, we'll sneak in a Cold Heart's A3 Heartseeker from time to time, but it's really those poisons, both on the waves and on the Fire Knight himself. I can't replace Tomb Lord in a team like this. I have the whole family in here. The boy left the door open. Now I got the kitty, who used to be a little kitten, and now he's growing up. This is little guy. All right. You get to meet the whole fam, guys. Your lucky day watching this champion guide. All right, so he lands all those poisons. That's going to be good to go. Finally, he dies. Only takes us about 5 minutes, but again, we get the job done. So let's go ahead and sell that piece of junk. Tomb Lord, 2.4 million damage. The same as Foley, really. So really, really, really good there. Crucial to that team. Decreased speed, specifically, plus all the hits in the on the A1. All right, let's go ahead and let me show you a Combust team really quickly. So I have Dragonheart 10. We have Bad Alcazar. We have Richthof the Bold. We have Kymar to reset. We have Tomb Lord for more poisons. And then we have a Combuster. We're going to be using Eleanor on the Combust ability. Deals damage from all poison debuffs instantly on all enemies. Excuse me. So even if you don't have all these champions or anything like that, you don't have to like one-shot everybody. I'm jamming all my poisoners in there, right? Death Burst, more poisons, Richthof, more poisons, and then Combust, instant activate, and then reset and do it again, right? But you can still use a strategy like this, even with one poison, Combuster in Tomb Lord. He's still placing 4 poisons. Incredibly effective against the dragon. And then what happens is we come against the dragon here, and we all pretty much die, except for Bad Alcazar, and he kind of solos at the end, is kind of how this team works. But what you could do is, on a squad like this, you could easily just sub in a champion like Staltis Dragonbane, right? He's not going to fit with the poison combust strategy, but he will be able to come in here and do a good work against the actual dragon at the end to ensure, especially if you don't have a Bad Alcazar or something like that, with that deflect. Another champion that, dare I say this, is actually pretty good in a role like that, if you don't have Staltis, is Jingwan. Yeah, I said it, Jingwan. Probably the only area that he shines in the game. Anyway, that's a poison combust team featuring Tomb Lord. He, he placed all those poisons. Really effective, stayed alive, was able to heal himself, obviously, with the regen and the immortal gear as well. So he was one of the, I think, the 3 remaining living champions at the end there. And that's how you can utilize him as not just a debuffer with his A3, but also just a poison combuster at the same time. So obviously, guys, this is endgame content, hard mode dungeons, but it's also endgame, build on him, right? So even if you don't have all the gear that I do, if you don't have him empowered and all the good stuff, right, the priorities are still going to be the same. We want speed, like on a combust team, for example, right? Let me just show you. Just for anybody out there, who might be a little bit more new, why am I going to the arena? I have no idea. How we're kind of like setting up a team like this in terms of the customization on the team setup, right? So here's the squad on a poison combust team. We have Battle. He only has 1 active ability. He's going to be using it every time he has it available, right? We have Richthof. He has an ability, attack 1 enemy 3 times. Each hit places a poison debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So he's placing 3 poisons. We want Richthof and Tomb Lord, 265 and 263 speed respectively, obviously to be faster than our Combuster, because she's going to come in after they place their poisons and activate them all, right? And that's really it. Then we have Kymar not using, I should probably just turn it off here. We didn't do it, but he's opening with his A1, which is nice because it has poison there too, right? So Kymar is not using his Seal of Magic. He's opening with his A1 on round 1. On round 2, I have him in there opening with Seal of Magic, not using the A2 because we don't want or need Abyssal Gaze. We want more poisons, right? And then on round 3, he is as is. So that's kind of how you set up the team. Obviously, Kymar is going to be the fastest on your team so that he goes before everybody and resets on the second wave. So guys, that's Tomb Lord, man. If you need debuffs, you need a lot of damage with those poisons, look no further. You have a great champion on your hands. PvE God, certainly just really versatile. A lot of damage, a lot of debuffs. Thank you for watching. Keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. And as always, take care, guys.